Welcome to the video. Before we begin, if not already, please take a moment to subscribe. It helps out the channel a lot. And click the bell icon to receive notifications when I upload. Comment your little heart out. And most of all, please enjoy. Now back to the video. Fear of the dark isn't a fear of the absence of light, it's the fear that there's a monster in the dark with you. So you turn on the lights, nothing to see here, all good. But what if there was still a monster you couldn't just see? Not the metaphorical monster hiding in plain sight, like carbon monoxide, I mean a literal invisible killer. Ever since H.G. Wells' classic tale appeared, see what I did there? The Invisible Man has been a Hollywood staple for almost a century. Here, I want to show you one of my favorite collectibles. It's a mint condition, first run, Mego Invisible Man. I know I shouldn't have taken it out of the box, but it looks too good to just keep it in the box on the shelf. So I have it on just... Oh shoot, where is it? Damn. Even when played for laughs, the point is the same. Invisibility is a dangerous power in the wrong hands. What would you see if nobody knew you were watching? Who hasn't eavesdropped on arguing neighbors? Not me, of course. This is Hollow Man. My alphabets look weird. We open with a mouse, making a break for sweet, sweet freedom. Oh lord, this isn't gonna go well, is it? Something unseen picks up the mouse and takes a bite. It's really embarrassing when you have something in your teeth and that's all anyone can see. Kevin Bacon is scientist Sebastian Cain, playing with balls. I think you're doing it wrong. He's brilliant, arrogant, and probably an amazing dancer, and he needs to work on his time management. I've actually thought of doing that here, but inspiration strikes and his balls are working.
11 months and you suddenly come up with it out of the blue?
He's been working at it for 11 months, it's not out of the blue. So, what have they been working on? In their secret lab deep underground Washington, D.C., his team of scientists have created a serum that makes things invisible. Until last night, they just didn't know how to bring them back. They think they can keep John Cena contained? Meet Isabel, the invisible gorilla. This big gal's been invisible for Lord knows how long, and she's getting grumpy. I think. We can't see her face. While we're at it, aren't gorillas vegetarian? They still show up on thermal goggles. It still doesn't excuse walking into a cage with a fucking gorilla, visible or not. Isabel, of course, gets loose and starts throwing invisible barrels at everyone. Why not make this a contest?
$10 says I nail her first.
Man, he'll screw anything. 'Twas ketamine that killed the beast. This is Sarah, played by Kim Dickens. She's got a problem with them using lab animals to run tests. Isn't that why they have them? And everyone hates Sebastian, so I will too. The new serum is prepared. Doesn't this make you want a Fanta? Things get hairy.
I got an erratic heartbeat.
She's going into cardiac arrest, and you were thinking it too.
Don't you know you're gonna shock the market? Shock the market.
Ultimately, they're successful, and you're gonna need another shot for the guy inside the gorilla costume.
Guys, we finally have something to celebrate.
I want my baby back, baby back, baby back, baby back, I want my baby. Sebastian and Linda, played by Elizabeth Shue, used to have a thing, but now she's got a thing with Thanos. I mean, Matt, played by Josh Brolin. This is progress that needs to be reported to the guys footing the bill at the Pentagon. We'll take 50,000 units. They're not the finished product, General. Aw. William Devane is Dr. Kramer, former mentor to Sebastian and current boss.
How have you solved the problem? I haven't.
Sebastian lies and tells them it's not ready yet. Maybe they're billing hourly? They got this far. Tell me the military can't work with this as is. Sebastian wants to do more tests, more research, and move on to human subjects. Meaning he wants to try invisibility for himself.
You want to be the first one, don't you?
But human testing is forbidden by contractors. Leave the human trials to the government. I'm sure they'll be responsible and not slip it into a town's drinking water sometime down the road. He knows, and this is probably true, once the program is working, the brass will take over, move it to Area 52, and cut Sebastian and the gang out of the glory. You tend not to award Nobel Prizes for top secret projects. Time for testing for reals. Sebastian volunteers. Easy, since nobody else is as crazy, arrogant, or tired of visibility as he is. They lie to the rest of the team, telling them they have permission to move on to human testing. Oh yeah, what's shaking, Bacon? Get used to that. It's gonna happen a lot. Prepare the blue juice. Ah yes, nice and bubbly. Got embolism?
Nothing so far.
It's not the quickest process, but when it kicks in...
Wait!
Brother, hang on.
I'm starting to feel something. back.
Look at it! I think it would hurt so much. No, keep looking at it. He's actually turning into bacon. Congratulations, we're all 1 degree further from Kevin Bacon.
I'm the invisible man.
Hun, that's his junk. Ew, sorry. He's invisible, but seemingly okay for now. Nice teepee, Dr. Tentpole.
The lights! Turn off the goddamn lights!
Other Invisible Man movies don't really take into account that your eyelids are invisible. You can't close your eyes. So it's kind of interesting seeing this aspect. It becomes less of an issue later, and it gets really inconsistent, but enjoy it while it lasts. Also, having invisible retinas would make you blind. The photons would pass right through your eyeballs. That's enough science for now. We'd shake your hand if we could see it. Although invisible to the naked eye, he still shows up on thermal cameras. All of them. He has to be naked to be invisible. You see a lot of little bacon in this movie. Sebastian can't leave, so Sarah takes first overnight watch. This would be a great time to put her hand in warm water. But no, straight to violations. And they definitely need a human resources department.
Sebastian?
He's making the women uncomfortable and paranoid. Can't even pee in peace. Tests and more tests determine Sebastian is a scamp. He even tries to get it on with Linda. She can't see how blue they are. Sebastian enjoyed 3 days of that unexamined life, but now it's time for stupid old visibility again. Engaging Fanta. But the Fanta is no good. Coulda had a V8. Elastic restraints kinda defeat the purpose. Get that man on a hot frying pan. He could use a good sear. Are vets allowed to intubate humans?
Chest compressions, chest compressions, chest compressions.
I'm the invisible man.
Ultimately, the procedure fails and Sebastian is stuck with invisibility. Poor baby. To give everyone something to look at, they make a latex mask for Sebastian. And this feels like the worst way to do it. It makes this monstrosity, which gives our movie monster a more sinister appearance. It's still more high-tech than plain old bandages. He just looks like he needs a circumcision from the neck up. The attempts are making Seb sick. His puke is invisible. He could be leaving bodily fluids all over and nobody would know until it was too late. Do not take off your shoes.
10 days of tissue tests, radiation testing, your fucking needles!
Looks like Mr. Rockstar Scientist is dissatisfied with his experience. You know, the one he volunteered for? He's supposed to be on lockdown, but he's restless and goes out. Freak out some kids. Yes! I'd probably do the same thing. He goes home for supplies, Twinkies, music, and some non-consensual lewd conduct. He sneaks into the apartment of a hot neighbor played by Rona Mitra.
I'm the invisible man.
There is a deleted scene that spells out more graphically the fact that he actually rapes her, but they left this out to make him more, I don't know, likable? Say goodbye to redemption. Sebastian is forced to stay put, no more trips outside. See previously mentioned deleted scene. They know he's lying.
I went to your apartment. I know you did a hell of a lot more than pick up some stuff.
They see right through him. Sebastian plays Linda a visit, but he goes to the wrong apartment. They're getting closer to fixing Sebastian, but not close enough, or fast enough. He gets optimistic and a touch of a superiority complex.
Said I have this gift and I can't even use it.
I'm gonna turn you into invisible feces. With a few spare parts, he rigs the camera watching him to loop so he can sneak out. Sebastian stalks the ex and finds her studying. What a nerd! Apparently, Matt's been making other things disappear. Into Linda. Rawr! So that's what she meant when she said she wanted to see other people. What a man. In fact, his mental state has been deteriorating steadily since, I don't know, birth? Let's just add jealousy to it. Look at me when I'm yelling at you. I won't show the part where he kills the dog. You're welcome. Now try that with the gorilla, tough guy. They figured out Seb has been sneaking out for quite a while, so they decide to pull the plug and tell the brass everything. Dr. Kramer is not happy about it, but probably just pleased to be included for once.
What was that about?
Just a screw up at work.
I'll go smoke a bowl and be right up, honey. Ah, purple haze.
Hi, boss.
Oh, this is some good Help! A naked man is wrestling me in the pool. It's like summer camp all over again. The next day, they get the bad news. Dr. Kramer died.
Drowned in his pool last night.
He was high as a motherfucker.
General Castor, please. Hello?
Rude. The phones are dead. The entire team is trapped in the lab, cutting off elevator access. No stairs? But Janice is first to go. They tried tracking Seb with motion trackers. He's somewhere between the locker room and the Nostromo. Splitting up seems to be a great decision. Bravo. They try to corner him, but he's clever and 3 times as strong for some reason. Carter's hurt really bad, and this is just an awful injury. Ugh. Remember, those are supposed to be tranquilizer darts. They can barely puncture a gorilla, but cast iron steam pipes are no match.
It's moving right towards you.
Sarah gets trapped, so she tries protecting herself with a ton of blood. Clever, she can't walk through without leaving a path, except for the blank path she left right here.
Sweet dreams.
Will Ferrell made it look like so much fun, too. She'll be up in no time. Ring dinger! They find Sarah's body, and Frank is taken out, and Matt is impaled. Sebastian locks him in the freezer.
He didn't hit any organs.
Frank.
I think he hit every organ. I want to know what brand of duct tape sticks to wet skin. Asking for a friend. Every girl crazy about a sharp-dressed invisible man. Eyebrows. That's what he's been missing. Linda ain't going down, man. They keep the weirdest stuff in the freezer. She MacGyvers a freaking electromagnet and opens the freezer from the inside. Sebastian rigs some chemicals to explode on his way out.
Sebastian!
But she's not done building shit. Say hello to her hot friend! Crispy bacon. This gives him an excuse to get naked again, and the burns just flake off of him. The sprinklers, better late than never, make Sebastian visible, yet he's still able to sneak up on Linda. But Matt goes for the head. Come on. One more hit. Finish him. Come on. See what happens when you don't finish off the bad guys? Electrocution renders him partially visible. May as well get their money's worth on their digital bacon. Just as long as his bacon bits are visible one last time. The only way out is to climb. Sebastian couldn't have survived this, right? No wonder the military wants this. Invisibility, super strength, super resiliency, and a total lack of shame. Now is not the time for reconciliation.
One last kiss. For old time's sake.
Ew, it's like kissing a raw steak.
Go to hell.
No, I don't want to die with my dick out. Don't think I didn't see you kissing that other guy. Nobody ever brings this up, but the explosion for sure killed the gorilla and the other animals. That makes me sad. And now you are sad too. You're welcome. And that was Hollow Man. Kevin Bacon is out of sight. The scientist killed by his own invention is a tried and true story, especially effective when it takes out other people too. It's never explained why Sebastian is suddenly superhuman. I'm sure any of these injuries would have sent normal people into shock or worse. Crowbar to the head, torch with flaming gas, but he literally shakes it off. His fall to madness feels like a quick trip, as if this one thing kept him from going berserk all these years. Kevin Bacon's character starts out rather unlikable, arrogant, and kind of stays that way. And when given the power of invisibility, he just destabilizes into a lunatic, like one does. This unfortunately makes him the most interesting character in the movie. Everyone else is kind of bland, mostly defined by a singular trait, mostly hostility that convinces the audience early on that they shouldn't like Sebastian. Surrounding Sebastian with characters who hate him isolates him, and there's no real empathy from the others. It made him kind of hard to root for, especially when they established so early that he's an evil son of a bitch. He's not the first star of the movie to become the monster, but that transformation didn't really bring anything. So him becoming a monster was not a stretch nor a shock. The anatomically accurate 3D model of Kevin Bacon is incredible. They built an extremely accurate 3D model of Kevin Bacon's body, from his capillaries to his genitals. Tell me Kevin Bacon didn't slip the effects crew a few bucks to enhance some stuff. Yeah, just toss a few more pixels in there if you know what I mean. Without much of a heart, this movie feels like it was constructed around the invisibility gimmick. It lacks the social commentary of Verhoeven's excellent RoboCop and Starship Troopers, but instead titillates the audience with the concept of voyeurism. There are times where he makes all of us peeping toms. But it also lacks the fun of those movies. Kevin Bacon brings some intensity to his madness, but everyone else's job seems to be to react to Sebastian. Their characters wouldn't mean anything without him. The screenplay just isn't that great. Derivative, cliche, a lot of inconsistencies. Hollow Man breaks down into a pretty standard slasher. He goes from peeping tomfoolery right to rape and murder and cruelty to animals, on a dime. Even the title, Hollow Man, describes Sebastian on several levels. Invisibility aside, he's a shell, with no real life of his own, trying to fill it with scientific recognition. And he misses Linda. Where there should be compassion, empathy, and integrity, there is a void. The story's lazy, there's some pretty cringy dialogue, There are some gruesome kills. It gets pretty gory at times. Even the transformation scenes are really gory in a oddly bloodless kind of way. So actually, if you stare at this long enough, it's kind of educational. Hollow Man is 3 Bs. Yeah, I have a soft spot for this one. The effects are mind-blowing, but the story is very predictable, as is the outcome. I just didn't really care for any of the characters, except the gorilla. It's entertaining enough, but in the end, it's still pretty empty. Thank you so much for watching. Like, subscribe, comment the bell, you know, the usual YouTube stuff. This is theNewBee, and I'll see you later, kids. Toodles!